I'm glad to say again, and as always, thank you for watching my previous video and for all your likes. I hope you learned info from my previous video and you're ready to move on. I know this topic might seem like harder to learn, but it is necessary for a safe flight. Okay, let's continue to learn more regarding aerodynamic for us to be able to move to more interesting topics at the Prague book. All right, let's go.
85 heavy, wind 260 at 14 and 2 right for takeoff.
So if you remember in my previous video, I brought up such term as stability. Stability is a quality of an airplane to automatically return to its original flight altitude when disturbed by outside force. So for example, you will experience it during the training, during your practice flights. You are in a straight level flight and you pitch nose down a little bit. So when you release your hand from the yoke, the plane will return to its original attitude. Okay, the same stuff will happen with bank and yaw. So when you turn plane right and you push yoke, it will have tendency to go back to its original attitude. The same with yaw, it will back to normal position. And because of it, we have three types of stability. We have lateral stability, we have longitudinal stability, and we have directional stability. So let's use this picture. So lateral stability is a stability about its longitudinal axis, and it is roll. Longitudinal stability is a stability about its lateral axis, this one, and it's called pitch. And directional stability is a stability about its vertical axis, which is U. We have two stabilities that you have to know, and they are positive static and positive dynamic stability. So here you have to remember following that will help you a lot. So the main difference between static and dynamic stability is that static stability is the initial tendency to return to the position from which it was disturbed. And dynamic stability, it's when aircraft return to its original position over a period of time. And I think you've mentioned that there was more than one stability. We have three different static and dynamic stability. So positive static stability, if this is the one we've just spoken about. It's when you apply some force to the object and it moves and turn back to its original position. So neutral static stability, it's when you apply pressure to the object and it goes to its next position. And we have negative stability. So negative static stability is when you apply force to an object, it starts moving and continue moving in other direction. The same happens with dynamic stability, but as we already know, it takes some period of time. So positive dynamic stability is when the airplane will get back to its normal position over a period of time. Neutral is when an airplane will continue disruption, and negative it's when it will start movement and at the end change it completely. So your first aircraft on your way to become a private pilot will be the one with the propeller in front of it, as in Cessna. And as you know from the previous video, propeller and its blades are also airfoils, and they have the same aerodynamic principles as a wing. And in terms of propeller, we have such definition as spiraling, yeah, great. So spiraling slipstream. When the propeller rotates, so I'm going to use my Airbus again, I'm sorry. So when the propeller rotates, it creates slipstream that, as you can see on this picture and over here, wraps around, let me take this over here, wraps around the airplane and strikes the left side of vertical stabilizer causing the tail of an airplane turn right and nose yaw to the left. So let me show you a great example. So here we have our Cessna, and let's start moving. So firstly, when we accelerate, the plane start moving forward, but then as you can see, it has tendency to move left. And when we are trying to make it go straight, again at some seconds he started to moving left again. And this is our slipstream. Do you think this is it? No, it can't be so easy. So we have 4 different situations that cause a plane to turn left. And here they are. I've just told you about the slipstream, and the next one is torque. Here the third Newton's law plays a great role. So we know that for every action there is equal and opposite reaction. So in our case, when airplane moves in one direction, there is a force that trying to turn plane in different direction. Okay. Next one is precession, and it also makes our plane turn left. But as well, as you can see in this picture, it raises tails up. You will feel it when you first start your engine on of an airplane, and you will feel as your tail goes little bit up. How does it work? So it works as a gyroscope. I'm sorry. It works as a gyroscope. I don't want to give a lot of information about gyroscope. You can and you have to read it in PAC. So, but just imagine that our propeller is a rotating dish. So when we're trying to apply force on some kind of force, in our case is forward moving force when you want to move forward, because blades create a forward moving force. You apply force over here, and of course, as you can see on our dish, one part goes down and one part goes up. So let's see the real example, and I'll show it in a video. So let's talk about P factor. We are in Cessna right now, and as I told you before, imagine that the propeller is a rotating dish, and right now I'm gonna apply force on the propeller that is gonna be full thrust. And as we know, thrust make us go forward. But I will apply parking brake, so we are not gonna move, and you will see how does the P factor works. So let's apply the full force, and you see nose goes down, and at the same time the tail goes up. Let's go outside. So from this point of view, you will see what is going on. I'm gonna apply force one more time. See, tail goes up, nose goes down. Again, tail goes up and nose goes down. So, and the last one is P factor. Again, our propeller blades are the same as the wing, and when propeller rotates clockwise, the right side creates more thrust than the left side, and it turns plane left. It happens in a flight when you fly with a lot of power, and it all happens because of the blade design. And again, let's see the real example in the video. So now we are in a straight and level flight with 50% power, and right now I'm gonna apply 100% power, and we're gonna see what will happen. As you can see, the plane starts moving left, even I'm doing nothing with the yoke. So here is our P factor. I hope you're still with me, and we have one more thing to talk about, and I'm going to tell you about the drag. So a drag is utterly important to know if you want to pass your check ride. As you remember from previous video, drag is the opposite force to the thrust. And drag is created by the airplane moving through the air. So we have two main groups of drag. It's the parasite drag and induced drag. And first of all, let's find out the differences between them. So parasite drag is created by the airplane moving through the air from skin friction interference, and it doesn't associate it with the production of lift. Induced drag, on the other hand, creates when the airfoil creates lift. In other words, so if there is lift, we will have induced drag. So parasite drag also has three types: foreign drag, skin friction drag, and interference drag. So foreign drag generates because of the shape of aircraft and the each part of the airplane. Foreign drag generates due to the shape of the airplane and its parts and the air moving through them. As you can see in this picture, each part of the airplane creates its own drag. Next one is skin friction drag, and I think it's the most obvious drag. We can find it from the name skin friction. It creates due to the contact of moving air with the airplane structure. So watch one more time on the picture. And the last one is interference drag, that comes from the interference of air streams. For example, as you can see on the picture and here on my model, it creates where two parts of the airplane, like fuselage and wing, connects. It creates over here. It might be fuselage and wing, vertical and horizontal stabilizer. And if you summarize induced and parasite drag, you will get the total drag of the airplane. I hope aerodynamic was useful and not boring for you. This is hard but very necessary topic. I truly believe that you will be able to understand it and will be a part of it. So thank you for watching my video. Subscribe to my channel for more aviation related videos and stay tuned.